Everybody, welcome. X's and Noles, presented by Noles247.com. Trey Rowland, Adam Brown, Kevin Little. Once again, part 2 of our series. Gus Malzahn out of here. See you, dude. And we are going to talk about how his departure is going to impact Florida State. We looked at the running game last video. Now we're going to look at how Gus Malzahn's departure is going to impact the passing game. Mike Norvell taking back the reins. Guys, what do you think? What do you think we're going to see more of? How do you think the lack of Gus, the addition of Michael Norvell, is going to impact the passing game in 2026? Adam, you first.
It's interesting. Well, we know last year and historically Gus is a vertical attacker, which means he wants to throw the ball down the field as far as he can. I feel like Norvell is similar in mindset.
Right.
If you think about his tenure here, slot fade being a very popular concept, one we've talked about quite a bit on this channel. And then obviously it was all kind of screens and vertical shots. And I think that there's a lot of similarities there. I think where the differences start to work in is like how they go about attacking vertically. Gus wanted to feature like an X receiver that he was just going to push the ball deep to. And Norvell has always kind of liked the slot, like trying to find matchups with the slot and doing it that way. And then working the RPO game. We didn't see as much RPO last year as we thought we probably were going to. But then, we know Norvell's been heavy with the RPO. So I think we're probably going to get back to that. So maybe that's a change. It maybe isn't the topic of the video, but I think maybe the biggest difference is going to be not having a 5'9" quarterback who can actually throw the ball in the middle of the field. breaker, can you hear me now?
Adam,
I don't know. I feel like there's like two big like kind of things that are working here to like, okay, this is what maybe Gus and Mike's difference is, but really maybe the biggest difference is you don't have a 5'9" quarterback who just can't throw the ball in the middle of the field at all.
It'll be interesting to see how much of what they did last year from the passing game perspective was personnel related or was it philosophically related, right? Schematically. I don't know. We did like the RPO stuff. We all thought that was going to be a bigger part of the offense. It just wasn't. They didn't really throw the ball over the middle of the field pretty much at all. Will be interesting to see if that comes back. Mike Norvell, offense built for playmakers. He loves matchups, right? So your best player is an outside receiver, right? Are you going to get a little bit more creative where they have Deuce Robinson? We saw him lined up in the slot at USC. Interesting stuff. Kev, what do you think?
Yeah, I think it's interesting because when I did film breakdown of Gus, he was heavier on RPOs than Norvell ever has been. And so by the end of Gus's tenure, he had really stripped that passing game down to RPOs, go routes, what I call bender routes, essentially these like kind of deep digs over the middle. And there just wasn't a ton of multi-level, multi-read passing concepts, which, is fine in a fast-paced college offense. I think that can work if you've got the right personnel. And there were times when it worked and times when they didn't hit those shots. And if you don't hit those 1 or 2 shots in a Gus Malzahn offense, you're going to have a bad day. You do hit those 2 shots, you're going to have a great day, right? That's a 14-point swing right off the bat. And, some games they didn't hit those shots and they really struggled. And yeah, I do think what AB brought up is a good point. And even when Jordan Travis was here, you could tell that there was a little bit of a hesitancy to go over the middle of the field. That was doubly so with Tommy Castellanos last year. FSU was one of the top teams in the country in go route percentage and one of the bottom team in the country in terms of how often they threw the ball over the middle of the field. So they did seem a little bit hamstrung by his passing usage. But overall, I think, they both push the ball deep. They're both kind of vertical passing guys. I think you see a little bit of a difference in kind of terms of how Norvell operates his passing game, and maybe a few more concepts, but not necessarily. I still wouldn't call it a particularly dynamic passing game.
No, and I think if we had to pick like an analog, like what does this compare to? Like, what's a good comparison? We think it's right now. We think with the personnel, what they have, we think it's going to kind of look like 2022 Florida State from a passing game perspective, right? So we wanted to take a look. We're actually going to look back at the 2022 Georgia Tech Florida State game. Take a look at what Mike did in the passing game. See what we think he's going to carry forward into 26. Maybe what might change, and then maybe squint our eyes if we think anybody on that field kind of looks like anybody that they're going to have out in 2026. Throw on the film.
Yeah, so AB pushed for the 2022, and there's good reason for it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I just think the conversation starts with obviously big receiver, Johnny Wilson, Deuce Robinson kind of comparisons. And I think the biggest one for me is Micah Pittman, and what I think you might see from like a Javon Boggs this year, a bigger, more physical kind of slot player, finding matchups against safeties and linebackers with that player. It just, I don't know, it made the most sense to me. Who actually freaking knows?
Yeah, so this is actually a concept we saw in Malzahn's offense. They put different surface dressing on it, but essentially a clear out with a wheel. The goal is, if this is any sort of zone coverage, cover 3 or cover 4, no matter what, you're getting this tight end one-on-one, running down the field with a linebacker. In this case, a defensive end, which is a pretty good matchup for you. And so
Preston Daniel sighting. Yeah, hopefully Landon Thomas can make that catch. We missed a few of those last year.
It's been a good concept for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, they dropped it a couple times this year in big spots, which was unfortunate.
It's a pretty classic concept, Mike Norvell concept, actually. Tate Rodemaker's first pass as a starting quarterback was an interception against Jacksonville State on this exact play.
Dude, that's some lore right there. A little sprint out left to Kentron. You think we might see this next year, boys?
Yeah, that's the one spot I am wondering about. If they had gotten Wayne McCoy to come back, I feel like you maybe were in a decent position there with 3 wide receivers. That third one, I think Boggs and Deuce Robinson make the most sense. That third one, though, is
Dancy, right? You think?
Yeah.
Unique athlete, right?
Yeah, I wonder if I'm curious how they try to utilize him in more of a maybe more versatile role. But yeah, that would be him for sure.
This is just a curl flat concept, high low, and someone you kind of get just an easy turnaround by your big bodied receiver, get 10 yards.
Yeah, so I mean, if you think about all the routes that Deuce ran last year, it was literally back shoulder, vertical route. So
yeah,
maybe seeing some curl routes and stuff like that, more hitches. Mike used to like to run some hitches and stuff.
I will say too, we expect a lot of this always pisses off the fans. Screens. What do we think of the screen game? The wide receiver screens, running back screens, particularly like tunnel screens and bubble screens. Everybody hates them normally. We're gonna see a lot of these next year, guys.
I mean, it works when your point man is Johnny Wilson. He's genuinely elite wide receiver blocker.
Yeah.
Can Deuce block like that?
I don't think he can block as good as Johnny, but I think he's a plus blocker on the perimeter, right? Don't you guys think?
Yeah, you're going to see that stuff. I mean, they want to run screens and then try to set up shot plays off of them. So, yeah, I mean, they make sense in an offense. I hope we get back to seeing some of the triple option stuff from 20 and 21, a little bit in 22. Like, that stuff just makes sense. Taking free completions and getting a little bit of yak yardage. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of easy. So I hope we get back to seeing some of that.
Screens help with the run game too. Screens help with the run game more than anything. Like you hit a few screens, these defensive backs, they start getting out of the box, and now you've got more space here. Unfortunately, you aren't able to climb up to this linebacker, but you've got numbers in the box here. And if this guy makes this block, you've got something going on here. And that's because this guy got held up by that screen. So screens aren't just for the screen. They help the run game.
Yeah, and I think your offensive line might be better than this one in 22. So
yeah, just trying to keep defenses honest.
Yeah, the question is, can you replace? I do think this offense wasn't as good as they were in 2023, and I do think a big part of that was, yeah, you got Keon Coleman, but what you lost was Micah Pittman, and that was a good. That's a OPI turned into a DPI. Oh, we got it. Micah Pittman was just such a good complement to what you had in Jordan or in Johnny Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a tunnel screen. Someone told me the other day that tunnel screens are always terrible. No,
That's
these
a pretty decent one. And like I said, to be interested,
People
like,
say a lot of stuff.
yeah, do we think Micah Pittman, tough, reliable? Do we think that Javon Boggs has kind of like the skill set to make those kind of tough yak stuff? What do we think?
No, I don't think that that's going to be his strength. But
Okay, what do you think his strength? Oh
what
my
the
God,
hell?
this
Oh boy,
this looks very similar.
You guys, yeah, at
Okay.
this point in time, we're sitting here 4-3, and we're like, this is a disaster.
Well, this is when we lost like 3 straight in the middle of the year, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wake Forest, NC
Yeah.
State, Clemson.
We like to cluster them.
Yeah, I don't think Boggs is the like versatile player that Micah was, but it just makes sense from a matchup standpoint out of the slot. Physical body, a physical presence, and that's kind of what Micah gave you. He's a good route runner. He's got some quickness, and he's more quick than fast, which I think how you would describe Micah.
Yeah, I would for sure.
But as far as like hand him jet sweeps, yeah, I don't think that's his game. Not sure that's what you want to do with him.
No,
think-
and that's where you get Danzy kind of in that mix
Yeah.
as well with like some of the eye candy stuff. Go ahead, Kev.
Hey, just to touch on the Micah Pittman stuff, I think what made Micah Pittman such a good compliment was his reliability, though. Like a 3rd and 4, you knew you had someone over the middle that's going to catch every pass you threw to him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so can Boggs be that? That's what I care about more than like, is he a guy that does jet
He was so productive in high school. I mean, you got to see him do it at this level, right? And he looked promising before he got hurt, but that reliability was huge. That safety valve, right? That safety valve that you could really count on those 3rd and mediums, even if the ball was a little scattershot, which we think it's going to be with Ashton Daniels. Pittman, I can't remember too many drops on his resume.
This is just a smash concept. You're high-lowing this corner. He sticks with this cornerback, so you've got good leverage for the corner route over top of him. I mean, it's just a pretty basic, route combination. It's very similar to that curl flat, right? It's just a high-low read. So far, we haven't seen anything crazy. We've seen a few screens, a couple basic high-low reads, some rollout passes.
Like I said, simple stuff designed to get the ball out. Oh, I missed that one.
This is the closest thing to like a multi-level read we've seen. This is a drive concept. So you've got a shallow route. You've got kind of a deeper dig. So essentially you're high-lowing the linebackers here. I assume over the top he's running sort of post. So you could even theoretically think if these linebackers start pulling up and the safeties start pulling up, then you've got a post over the top. Jordan makes the correct read, but can't deliver the ball. Right, these guys are backing up, so you hit the high-low over the middle of the field, which is the shallow route.
That might be something that Daniels, I feel like there may be a couple misses like this for him. He had pretty good arm strength, better than I thought when we brought him in, but the touch was something that I still kind of have a question mark about.
That's what you're not going to get. That's going to be a sack for -10.
Yeah, God, he was so slick, dude. That is the one thing. Every time I watch Jordan, he got you out of so many negatives.
But not only that, we've just seen Daniels like curl up in the fetal position to some degree.
He's like he doesn't handle pressure well. Yeah,
that's a big concern.
No, they're gonna have to design quick stuff for him to get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, here's the curl flat idea again. Mm-hmm. Right, high-low, and they send a blitz, so easy outlet valve.
But we talked about, I mean, Daniels, one of his strengths kind of was processing it fast and getting the ball kind of where it needed to be quickly, not really holding it too long all the time. So you hope you can build on some of these curl flat concepts. I don't think we're probably going to see a whole lot of mesh, but Mike's run some mesh in his time. Yeah, I mean, in the end, like he's still going to want to try to push the ball vertically because that's
just who he is.
Yeah, that's what he's raised as an offensive mind. That doesn't just leave you.
You get another
for
variation
good reason too.
Of a smash concept of some kind. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they're gonna push the ball downfield. Oh, here we go.
I mean, I wonder if they ran slot fade last year because you're going to see it this year.
Yeah, and you got speed to do it as well. I mean,
do you have a pokey though? Right? Do you have someone? We talk about Micah. We talk about Johnny. Do you have someone with speed that can get over the top of a corner like this?
I mean,
this should be a touchdown.
Danzy should. I mean, we've seen, and I thought he developed a little bit better than I expected in that first year, especially coming from a different sport. Really, obviously played football in high school, but he's a really impressive track athlete. I thought he transitioned fairly well.
Yeah, Danzy's got to be your guy, right? And he's got to be a more polished route runner, right? A lot of this is set up off this first. It's very subtle. It's just this one jab step, but that gets that half step that wins him over the top. Right. At the end of the day, cornerbacks have ways of keeping up with guys faster than them. If you're not a crisp route runner.
I totally agree, Kev. He's got to find ways to be more like a polished like technician, right?
Yeah, which I'm not saying is impossible.
No, not at all. But you got to make the step, and we can't assume that guys will make the next step. We learned that the hard way these past 2 years.
Yeah, you're just kind of right at this point. You're just doing another smash concept, right? He's running some sort of corner, and you're high-low in this guy, but now you're getting a twirl route on him, which is your man beater. Oh, here's
who was that? It was Malik McLean. That's who 11 was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
call back.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a little bit.
Here's your triple option, AB. Pulls it, goes down
in the slot.
It's just such an easy 7 yards, you know.
It was so much fun. Remember when they spammed this when they were playing like UNC and stuff like that, dude? That was a fun game. Kid got a tattoo of Mike afterwards. They lost like every other game that year. There's John, J-Dubs.
He's a fun college player. But yeah, they're not doing anything crazy here.
No.
This is just it's slot out, you know. The slot's running out. He's running a go route. You get a man on man coverage. They're going to middle center of the field closed. You get man coverage with Johnny Wilson. You take the shot.
I think,
but Deuce did this last year, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, 100%.
I'd say he's probably more fluid after the catch as well than Johnny was. But what do you guys think about? It's always a topic of conversation in the FSU kind of football community, like route concepts in the Mike Norvell offense, the simplicity in the passing game.
They're going to be basic.
What's your take on that? I mean, is it as negative?
You only have so much time to work on stuff, and at Mike's heart, he wants to run the football, so they're going to spend time trying to be good at running the football and building a competent passing attack off of that. So, we talked about it years ago. Like, would we like to see some more stuff? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, you have to sacrifice something. He's not going to be an air raid guy. So, yeah, you're going to sacrifice a little bit of your passing attack to spend more time trying to be good at your rushing attack. And, look, I mean, your quarterback and your receiver room or, and your offensive line room, like all of those things are going to go into impacting what your route concepts kind of look like. So if you can protect for a long time and your quarterback can sit back there and read and your receivers can run all the routes, then you might see a little expansion. But, I mean, we've never seen that in Mike Norvell's time. I mean, from when he got hired, us breaking him down at Memphis, like, it's never been it
was simple and matchup. It's all matchup based, right?
Yeah, it really is. Mike's going to try to find the matchup and get a guy and attack that. And he's going to do it with simplicity, but I mean, it has been effective at times.
Yeah, I mean, just some basic high-low reads. I mean, those work, especially if you have guys that can win those one-on-ones when you get them. Here's an RPO, and this was kind of what we were talking about. He's pulling this RPO. He sees someone coming up. And this is why they didn't run RPOs much with Jordan and didn't run it a lot with Tommy. Also, you held the crap out of this dude.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Big Bob Scott. Oh man, dude,
it's funny we're talking about the route combinations though, because like I remember the days of Jimbo's route tree.
It was too complicated, right?
Too complicated. The route tree is too complicated.
You couldn't see the field as a wide receiver till like year 3. I do remember those days. So there is, like you said, there's give and take, right?
So this is kind of what I was talking about. Deuce Spann is probably if he ran a 40-yard dash, he's probably faster than Pokey, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd take him in a 40 over Pokey, but he's running a very similar route. He's on a corner where who's got help inside, so he's got the leverage, right? He should win this route. This is designed to be a touchdown, and he just can't quite get open because that corner's just knows exactly where he's going to be, you know?
That's where the craft of being a wide receiver comes in. It's usually the guys that do the subtle stuff. The guys that get the most separation are, by and large, a lot of times not the fastest guys on the field.
Well, I mean, Deuce is really long and not very loose. I mean, you look at Pokey, how loose he is in his hips here. Oh, that was Kentron. Sorry.
Yeah. Trying to run a good route here.
A great route.
Yeah, essentially what they saw was the RPO was open, but they're gonna run it a little bit deeper and as a true play action, I think is what's happening here. That might be an RPO because they're starting to go downfield. Murray Smith.
It looks like Jordan's reading them, yeah.
So go back to the RPO after it was almost a pick.
It was there. Block it a little better.
A throw that we're pretty confident Ashton Daniels can make. I mean, like I said, it looked like he was making those when he was at the tail end of his Auburn career a little bit. That doesn't look like it's outside of his wheelhouse.
Wheel route there.
Wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I did not plan that.
So this is mesh, right? And I don't know if I've ever seen them run mesh and not throw the wheel route. It's like their first look in the mesh, which is, I mean,
the cross. Oh yeah, they don't even.
It's always his first read.
You got a running back on a defensive end. Take it, you know? This should be a touchdown.
Because I think he only calls it when he's expecting man coverage.
Yeah. And he knows he can get a matchup on a running back.
It's so funny when you watch what was the kid's name? Chandler Morris run mesh and where their eyes are so different, right? That's just the read that Mike wants him to make. Hit the running back.
Yeah, it's a matchup-based play for him, right?
And more explosive potential, even though, like you see, like a Virginia killed Florida State by taking the free 6 or 7 in the yak every time. Just different philosophies.
Right. You're essentially watching this triangle unfold. Actually, it's going to be this once, like these guys cross. But yeah, they were looking at this triangle in the middle of the field, which is essentially very difficult to cover for a defense. Or Mike's waiting for man coverage so he can get this. He wants a touchdown play out of mesh. Yeah, Virginia's trying to get 6 yards. I say why not both?
Why choose? Man, that's not a bad point either. But then, it's all about this, right? It's all about setting up the running game. It's all about being effective in the running game. Deep shots, keep the defense on.
There you go.
Nice, free, easy play. Where did that come from?
Yeah, so you've kind of set this up, right? You've ran curl flats, you've run this guy in a go, you've done all sorts of things. Now you're going to run what looks like curl flat. He turns up. He kind of runs a pick into the middle of the field to make sure no safety is going to be following him. And someone chasing this out route then gets fooled. Actually, I think you just run a straight pick on that safety.
It's okay.
Did they call this?
Mm-mm.
Oh, they did.
Oh, okay.
All right, run a little cleaner next time. I was like, oh, well, he was so wide open.
Yeah, I think Johnny Wilson just sets a pick straight up on this guy. But that's set up. You're trying to set that up from earlier, right?
Mm-hmm. And you can see how there is, even though not too much stuff, he does have like counters and stuff, even off of like the simple passing game that they're trying to build to.
There we were out.
Oh, I love that. Dude, nice catch. Like, good touch on that pass.
Yeah, Lawrence Toafili was a ball player.
Yeah.
They're at this point, Georgia Tech's tipping their hands that they're playing man coverage, and FSU takes them for it. And like Georgia Tech keeps putting defensive ends
cross
on the running back. So you can see that what Mike Norvell cares about with the passing game is he's going to try to spring open explosives. That's what he wants. Pretty simple reads, but he wants to get that matchup deep, right? Whether it's a wheel route against a defensive end. Oh, there's mesh.
I hand to the crosser, bud.
Right. So you see they drop into zone. So that wheel's not there. So he's got to move off of it. But he's still looking to hit that wheel first.
Sure, but look at that.
Should have thrown it to Johnny.
You should have.
No, we don't like to throw it to the crossers ever, dude. We're a little rusty.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think.
What do you guys think, man?
There's a lot of similarities to Mike and Gus's passing attacks, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but I feel like Gus's passing attack was very focused on the outside guys going deep, some deep crossing stuff. Whereas I think Mike's going to he's going to be matchup oriented. If his tight end's got a good matchup, he's going to try to find a way to get that guy at the back. He's going to try to find a way to get the back. And then he's going to do a little bit more of this more traditional stuff. Like he will mix in some mesh. And it may be.
Here's Y cross.
Yeah. Like I don't feel like we've seen much of that from Gus.
No, not like you said, the mesh, the simple out routes, like with I'm with you. Like there's more stuff going on here than there was all of last year. You know what I mean? It would seem that we became very big play dependent. Now, how much of that was called? How much of that was the mentality of your kind of gunslinger quarterback and his really good connection with Deuce, his roommate? Like, I don't know. It's interesting, but this looks different to me.
Yeah, there's a difference, right? Definitely. I didn't see anything like this from Gus, right? Where you've run smash a couple of times, you've hit that corner route, you put your best wide receiver. You know, Georgia Tech's like, all right, Johnny Wilson, watch this guy. You've got a safety and a linebacker on him. You're going to run him off to the corner of the end zone. Then right behind him, you've essentially got a linebacker on Micah Pittman that opens up the middle of the field, right? So this is a nice designed route concept. You know, this is complementary football. They've kind of opened this up for themselves.
And Kev, it really works, like you said, because of the reliability of Micah Pittman.
Right,
the other guy needs to make that catch. Javon Boggs or Mekhi Danzy needs to make that catch consistently for this stuff to work.
He doesn't need to be the best athlete in the world. He needs to catch the 4 or 5 times that you've set something up because the whole defense is watching Deuce Robinson or Johnny Wilson. You want a guy that at the top of his route gives a little nut punch to the linebacker, so the linebacker's on the ground, or sets a pick on the ref. Is that what happens?
Yeah.
Just get open, man. I don't care.
You love this crafty stuff, don't you, brother? I do too, man. I do too. Like you said, because we all know how good Deuce is, and the entire defense knows how good Deuce is, right? It's got to be the other guys are going to have to step up to make this a more dangerous passing attack.
Yeah, because you can. I think that was one of the problems last year is that really you can throw that deep ball to Deuce 4 or 5 times, but if he doesn't catch 2 or 3 of them, well, then what are you going to back up with? You know.
Right. If you didn't have Deuce, you were screwed.
Big time.
You saw it play out in the Pitt game. They should have beaten Pitt, but Deuce got hurt.
One of the rare times on an offense where I could argue the most valuable player was not the quarterback.
Yeah.
Dang it.
And like you said, sets up nice stuff like that. Well, I think this was a good showcase, guys.
Yeah, I think it might be worthwhile to go back to a 2023. Let us know if you'd be interested in us watching a 2024 game just to see, like, all right, we've looked at kind of the good, right, of the running game and of the passing game. Why did it fail so badly in 2024, right? It was the same guy calling plays. What?
I did not sign up for that.
I'll do it
Oh,
myself.
sorry, dude. If the fans demand, gotta go
They probably
back
don't want to
into-
watch it either. I'm just
gotta
curious.
go back into the breach. But no, that's not a bad. Like, was
No,
this
it's
stuff
not.
called and not executed, or did we start to just like what were we doing? It'd be funny to watch it in a direct comparison. You guys tell us if you want to. We'll shepherd you through it if you
survive
want us
You
to
wanna
look at it
suffer
again.
through that.
We love you guys.
I'm enjoying
think-
watching this.
Yeah, it reminds you that Mike Norvell's a good offensive mind.
It
4
all
years
starts with the
ago.
damn run game, though. I mean, they've got to be able to run the football to build off of it. I mean, it's everything for them for this system.
Oh God, that escapability helps too, dude. Like that's sick, man. That's really great.
Who's that? Is that Ja'Kai Douglas?
No, I think it
Yeah.
was Pittman again, wasn't it? He's zero, isn't he?
0. Yeah,
No,
Michael
zero
was 4.
Douglas.
Oh, was he? Oh, dude, what's up?
There's the old
brother?
slip release. Like Mike did so much of that stuff.
Yeah, they put it on him. Put it on.
Like,
Tiny
there was an
Jack
actual setup
Collins.
to the passing game, not just a run deep and we'll throw it to you.
Here's the drive concept again, and this time the linebackers are up, so you can kind of hit that window behind the shallow.
It's almost like they should have prioritized the quarterback position.
Yeah, Jordan Travis was good though.
Of course, I guess Gus wasn't retired at that point, so
Oh, yeah, that's right. No, I technically was still your offensive coordinator. Oh, what a fun
Yeah.
offseason it's been.
This offensive line just isn't that great, but you got some good running backs here.
yeah.
Might
think
have
you
one
got a
again
good
this
group.
year.
This year. Yeah, I mean,
All right. Well, I think that's
sorry,
the end.
Steve Fraccolici, we just gave away your test. You failed,
Well,
you son of a biscuit.
you get it all here on the triple option. X's and Noles presented by Noles247. I even used the old name. My God, that's how much I was living in the past. X's and Noles, Noles247. I love it. Great stuff. You could see the differences. The mindset's the same. Attack vertically. Mike open to do it in more traditional ways. Really, he will push the matchup. If he finds the good matchup, he will try to find the good matchup. He will examine and think he has the best matchup pregame, and he will leverage it over and over and over again. If you guys have been with us since 22 and 23, you remember how it always seemed to be X guy's game this week and then somebody else's game next week. That's by design, man. This is a matchup offense. It's a matchup passing game. It's a simplistic passing game. However, with an effective running game and they kind of play in concert with each other, it's very effective. And that's the name of the game, especially this year where Florida State does not have a quarterback as talented as the one we just saw in that video. They've got a guy who can do some things well and who's got some clear limitations. They're going to have to call the game, particularly in the passing game, to his strengths of what he has. Boys, anything else to add before we get on out of here?
I think you wrapped that up nicely with a little bow.
All right. Well, then see y'all later and keep chopping. Noles247.com. Hit it up. Love you guys.